Hello friends and welcome to my channel. Today I have a friend with me. Her name is Kathy. Hello. We are here to tell you one of the ways in which we can study efficiently. We all are at home, so there are less chances of you having a friend at home to have combined studies with. But you have another option. You can call up one of your friends who are interested to study over the phone. One advantage of combined study is that you will be less distracted and more focused. Yes, and you can share your knowledge about that particular topic with your friend as well as clear your doubts. Today we are going to learn a small introductory portion of CNS physiology. The notes are available at Angelina Isaac's Instagram page at a very minimal cost. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so the nervous system controls all the activities of the body and it is quicker than other control systems in the body, namely the endocrine system. That is the first point. The first point is that it controls all the activities of our body. It is quicker than other control systems of the body. Second point is that primarily nervous system is divided into two parts, the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. So we have the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. That is the second point. Now that is a basic introduction to the nervous system. We have 2 points. First is activities and it is faster. Second is that it is divided into central and peripheral nervous system. Now we are going to see what is under the central nervous system. Okay. So we are going to say what is under the central nervous system. The CNS includes, there is a central nervous system, includes the brain and the spinal cord. It is formed by neurons and supporting cells called neuroglia. So CNS includes the brain and the spinal cord. What is there inside it? There are cells which are called neurons. We already know that neurons are the functional, structural and functional units of the nervous system. So it is made up of neurons and the cells that support it, that is the neuroglia. Okay. So that was the first point. So the second point is the structures of brain and spinal cord are arranged in 2 layers. First we learn what is there in the spinal brain, what is there in the central nervous system, that is the brain and the spinal cord. Now we are going to learn about the structures that are there. That is, the structures of the brain and spinal cord are arranged in 2 layers. That is the grey matter and the white matter. Now we are going to see what is there in grey matter and what is there in white matter. The grey matter is formed by nerve cell bodies and proximal parts of nerve fibers arising from the cell body. The nerve, you know the structure of the nerve, right? We have the cell body and then the nerve fibers. So the grey matter is made up of the cell body and the proximal part of the nerve fibers that arise from it. That makes the grey matter. Now what is white matter? The white matter consists of the nerve fibers of that nerve cell. So we are done. The grey matter, what is constitutes the grey matter and what constitutes the white matter. Now you have to see how this grey matter and white matter are there in the brain and the spinal cord. In the brain, the white matter is seen inside and grey matter is seen outside. Okay, so we can imagine like brain is having grey color outside. So the grey matter outside, white matter inside. So once you know the arrangement of this grey matter and white matter in the brain, you have to remember that in the spinal cord, it's just the opposite. That is, in spinal cord, we have the white matter outside and grey matter inside. So that's done. We have learned 3 points. I hope you remember it. Okay. Now we have to learn the coverings. The coverings of the brain and spinal cord are called the meninges. And it has 3 layers. The outer dura mater, which is closest to the skull. The middle arachnoid matter and the innermost pia matter, which is attached to the CNS tissue. So what are the coverings? You have 3, like the coverings are called the meninges. They are arranged in 3 layers. The outer dura mater, middle arachnoid matter and inner pia matter. Then moving on to the space between the dura mater and the arachnoid matter, it is called the subdural space. Then the space between the arachnoid matter and pia matter is called the subarachnoid space, and this space is filled with cerebrospinal fluid. So now how do we remember all this? The central nervous system, first we learned that we have the brain and the spinal cord. Then we learned that it is made up of neurons and supporting cells. Then about the white matter, the grey matter, how it is arranged in spinal cord and brain. Then about the coverings, that is the meninges, the 3 layers, the spaces and the cerebrospinal fluid. Okay. Now I want you to tell me that in the point so that I can know how much you have grasped. So, first we learn about nervous system, that it regulates the activities of our body, functional activities. Then it has two parts, that is central nervous system, peripheral nervous system. We learned about central nervous system, that it has the brain and the spinal cord. And then we learned that it consists of this neurons and supporting cells called neuroglia. Then we learned about the arrangement, that is the grey matter, white matter. Grey matter consists of the nerve cell bodies and proximal parts of the neurons. Then the white matter consists of the nerve fibers. In the brain, the grey matter is outside, white matter is inside. Spinal cord, it is just the opposite. Then we have the coverings, which are called the meninges, and the meninges are three layers, that is the outermost dura mater, arachnoid matter, pia matter, and the spaces in between that, that is the subdural space, subarachnoid space, and the subarachnoid space has cerebrospinal fluid. Yeah. Okay, so now we have covered the introduction to CNS as well as what's there in CNS and stuff we have done. So that's clear, right? Both of us have it in our mind. Now let's move on to the next part, that is parts of brain. Now brain is divided into three parts. The prosencephalon, the mesencephalon, rhombencephalon. Now how do we remember this? That is the first point. Now it's a bit of a funny way to remember it, but still I'll tell you. Prosencephalon, that is it is the brain. Think of the brain, it is a very professional thing, professional, professional, prosencephalon. Then comes mesencephalon, it's messed up, okay. So mesencephalon, messed up, mesencephalon. Rhombencephalon, it is round, so rhombencephalon. So that word is what it connects to you, so it's like professional, messed and round. So you can remember it as prosencephalon, mesencephalon and rhombencephalon. These are the three parts. Now let's look at the subdivisions. Prosencephalon is further divided into telencephalon and diencephalon. Now how do you remember telencephalon and diencephalon? I'll tell you a simple thing. You call your friend, telephone, okay, telencephalon, and then you hear a news about a death. So it's like diencephalon. So telencephalon and diencephalon. So that is the two things that comes under prosencephalon. Okay. That is telencephalon, diencephalon. Now there are things that are inside this telencephalon and diencephalon. Let's look at that. That also has a small story. I don't know whether you'll find it funny or how is it, but still I'll tell you. In telencephalon, there are four structures. Okay. Telencephalon, there is a cerebral hemisphere. You have to think of the brain, the hemispheres of the brain, cerebral hemispheres. Then there is basal ganglia. At the base of it, there is a ganglia called basal ganglia. Now there comes a hippopotamus into it, which is called the hippocampus. And finally, that hippopotamus makes an entire nucleus world of its own, so it is called amygdaloid nucleus. So, well, you have the cerebral hemispheres, then you have a basal ganglia, then the hippopotamus comes in, so there is the hippocampus, and it makes a nucleus which is called the amygdaloid nucleus. So, that is the things that comes under the telencephalon. So, this is the simple thing just to remember it. The actual structures we will be learning about it in detail in the other, when we learn about it, we will learn about it in detail, but for now just to remember, let us use this technique. Now looking at diencephalon, after the telencephalon, now if you look what is there in diencephalon. Diencephalon is easy, there are four things again, and it is related to the word called thalamus. First there is thalamus, then there is subthalamus, hypothalamus, metathalamus, all related to thalamus, hypothalamus, metathalamus, subthalamus. So that's done. Okay. So we learned about prosencephalon. Under that we have telencephalon, diencephalon. Under that we have four components each. Now there is mesencephalon. That does not have any divisions. Finally, we have rhombencephalon. Rhombencephalon has two divisions. That is metencephalon and myelencephalon. Metencephalon, you can remember is that you met a friend and then you make them yours, that is mine. Metencephalon, myelencephalon. So it's like you met a person, you made them mine. So metencephalon, myelencephalon. Under metencephalon, you have two structures, pons and cerebellum. Under myelencephalon, you have no structures. Metencephalon has pons and cerebellum. So that's an entire chart. You can see this over here, right here. We have a flow chart kind of a diagram. So that's how you learn that thing. Okay. Now you can just try saying that out. Now the parts of the brain is divided into three, as you said, the professional prosencephalon, then mesencephalon, it's all messed up, and rhombencephalon, round, and prosencephalon is further divided into telencephalon and diencephalon. Telencephalon has this cerebral hemispheres, basal ganglia, hippocampus and amygdaloid nucleus. Then the other one, that is diencephalon, has thalamus, subthalamus, metathalamus, hypothalamus. And then mesencephalon does not have any divisions. Rhombencephalon has two divisions, that is metencephalon and myelencephalon. Metencephalon has pons and cerebellum, while myelencephalon does not have any other divisions. Yeah, that is cool. Okay, so here is how Kathleen and me have completed this small introductory portion of CNS, and this is how we can focus by having combined studies. You saw that we weren't distracted, we were focused on what we have to complete in a limited amount of time, and this video was for those people who asked me how to concentrate and study on a particular topic. So yeah, when you try to have combined studies over the phone or personally having a friend at home, you can actually make that concept clear, and if you have any doubts, you can get that clear at that point itself. So I hope you all found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching.